Let's reset here for anyone who may just be joining us. Tornado warning now in effect until 7:30 p.m. for northeastern parts of Shiawassee County, as well as northwestern parts of Genesee County. This new tornado warning will be in effect until 7:30, so we're talking about at least roughly another 20 to 25 minutes here before, this potential warning potentially expires. This is for a confirmed tornado touchdown roughly around the Corunna area about 20 or so minutes ago and has been on a northeasterly path. And as of the latest update we have here, it is accelerating its forward motion on the ground, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. If you are in the path of this storm, anyone who lives essentially on the west or northwest sides of the Flint area and including in the city of Flint, you need to be getting to your shelter right now, because even though we're talking about a very localized area where the tornado is, we're still talking about the potential for very damaging winds. Easily, we could be talking about wind gusts away from the tornado in upwards of about 60 to 70, 80 miles per hour or more. But especially if you are, again, in the direct path of where we saw that circulation, you need to get to shelter right now. So let's go back to our velocity mode here and see if we can once again get a better idea of where the tornado likely is at this point. This is a bit encouraging, but again, we're still talking about a very dangerous situation here. But based on our latest radar scan, if we look at what the winds are doing, we're roughly seeing a little bit of a flattening out. It's becoming a little more fuzzy, if you will, in terms of our overall rotation here. This latest scan actually just updating there. We do still see a bit of a notch here indicating where we might have some rotation lingering right over the Clayton Township area right now. If we do still have that tornado on the ground, that's most likely where it's going to be. We have not yet gotten any confirmation that it has lifted. So in Clayton Township, it is imperative that you be in your shelter right now. This tornado is on top of you as we speak, continuing to move off toward the north and east at about 60 miles per hour. Let's once again zoom out here, and we'll put a storm track on the system based on where the tornado roughly is right now. Again, moving northeast 60 miles per hour. That's going to put it, again, on top of Clayton Township, 1 minute basically there as we speak. Beecher, this is going to be in your area in the next 13 minutes. Genesee Township in 17 minutes. So we're, roughly talking about 25 after or so for Genesee Township.
All right, good Friday evening, everyone. And you know what the best part about all of those great outdoor events that we've been hearing about going on this weekend? The weather is going to cooperate absolutely perfectly. Plentiful sunshine, comfortable temperatures. And by the way, the fun doesn't even stop once the sun goes down. We've actually got some events going on in our skies tonight that are definitely going to be worth a view. The first being something we mentioned earlier on in the week. And if you were with us at 5 o'clock, I did talk a little bit about this. But if you weren't, want to make sure you heard about it. We have the ongoing Perseid meteor shower underway, rolling into its peak as we roll into the weekend and on into Monday. Overall, we are expecting good conditions for viewing for each of the next few nights here, at least until Monday night. We will have some storms coming back on in, but at least for the weekend anyway, we're looking great. The only potential issue comes from the fact that the moon is going to be getting closer and closer to full as we reach the peak, so that glare may obscure some of the meteors. But nonetheless, if you can get to a dark location after dark, look off toward the northeast toward the constellation Perseus, and you'll see those meteors coming out in full force, especially with the clear skies. And one other thing that's going to be exclusive to tonight, but definitely worth a mention, we have the moon and Jupiter. They're actually going to be moving in very close tandem tonight. It's the waxing gibbous moon, and Jupiter will actually be just off to the lower right side, so to speak, here on the moon. So it's not so much a celestial event, but just more a happy coincidence for us. All you need to do to find this one is look south after sunset, or just look for the moon, and you'll see a very bright, what looks like a star, again, just off toward the lower right side of the moon there. If you have a high zoom lens or even a telescope, even better for viewing conditions for that tonight.
Certified most accurate. Now, your first Warn 5 forecast with Mid-Michigan's only live radar. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bryan Bachman.
All right, a very good Thursday evening to you, everyone. We are here live at Dow Diamond tonight for some playoff baseball. Loons, of course, coming home tonight as they continue their playoff series against the Lake County Captains. They won last night, so if they win again here tonight, they'll sweep the series, move on to the next round, set to face either South Bend or Bowling Green, depending on who wins that series on the other side of the division here. But enough about all of that. Of course, I think the bigger story of the night here at Dow Diamond is the fact that we've got perfect weather for tonight's playoff game. As you can see, as we set the scene here, got these nice deep blue skies, just some scattered fair weather clouds working their way on through. Temps Temps are pleasantly mild. Humidity is very low. And we also have just a subtle northwesterly breeze, keeping things nice and comfortable here as warm-ups continue. The Lake County captains getting their turn to warm up before the game here. And, of course, first pitch coming up at 7:05. And we expect this gorgeous weather to continue all evening long. But if you are coming out to join us, just make sure you bring a jacket or a sweatshirt, because once the sun goes down, it'll be cooling off pretty quickly. Speaking of, let's take a look at your weather here tonight. First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar live from MBS. You can see we are rain-free here in mid-Michigan. Just those scattered fair weather clouds that I mentioned. There are some showers and even thunderstorms moving in across parts of Wisconsin and the UP tonight that are going to be eyeing either a very late overnight arrival here or first thing tomorrow morning. But the general trend as we head into Friday will be for cloudier skies and a little bit more of a soggy slate of conditions at times. In the meantime, though, on the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker, all of today's gorgeous weather courtesy of that big blue H parked over the southern end of Lake Michigan. High pressure keeping us high and dry today.
Hi there, David and Jamie. It's been about as pure Michigan of a 24 to 48 hour period as we can get here in springtime in the Great Lakes state. Going from several inches of snow yesterday, it felt like full-blown winter, right back into spring today. And for many of us, whatever snow you picked up, it's already long gone. Nonetheless, though, let's go over some of the totals from yesterday. Twin Lakes in Roscommon County to the southeast of Houghton Lake picked up 8.9 total inches of snow from yesterday's storm. Harrisville not too far behind at 8.1. St. Helen also in Roscommon County exactly at the 8-inch mark. Houghton Lake 7.9 for you. Gladwin rounding out our top 5 in a tie with the town of Glenee and Alcona County at 7 inches. Beaverton picking up 6. East Tawas 5.7 for you. 5.5 for Higgins Lake, and Sterling at 4.6, with things dropping off pretty dramatically the farther south you go due to more of that mixing component. But what's also really incredible about that snowfall today was how quickly we turned the corner back into sunny skies. So you look here at the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker. I put it in the visible loop here today. This is all the snow that fell from last night into very early this morning. And over the last 6 hours alone, you could see how widespread that snow was this morning and how quickly it's just melted away almost to nothing in areas, especially where you picked up lighter totals. It's only the heaviest spots in those 8 and 9 and 7-inch totals, for example, that still have a little bit of the snow left over. We're going to stay clear for the next few hours here in mid-Michigan, but clouds will sweep in from the west as the evening goes on, taking our temperatures from the 40s and 50s that we've risen comfortably back into this afternoon, and then putting us back into the 30s overnight, with closer to daybreak a few rain and, yes, mixed snow showers coming back, but no accumulations this time around. We'll break down your whole week's forecast coming up. Now we take a look at the big picture. First Warn 5 Sky Tracker, high pressure. You can see it way over on the other side of your screen there. It's giving us this protective bubble for today. But here's the storm we're keeping our eyes on for this weekend. Starting to get better organized as it inches its way through the Rockies across parts of Colorado and into New Mexico. As that emerges tomorrow, moves into the plains. It's like many other systems, going to grab a lot of moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. But this time around, this system is expected to intensify very rapidly. And while it will bring some rain and even some wintry precipitation to us by the time the weekend is all said and done, we're looking at much more of a wind event than anything else this time around. So on the hour-by-hour forecast, we hit 7 o'clock. Generally clear skies hanging on in there. That'll be the case at least until we hit the midnight hour. Then heading toward tomorrow morning, clouds start to stream in, but maybe a few breaks of sun just very early in the day. But as early as lunchtime and by 1 p.m., we see some scattered rain showers and even a little bit of isolated freezing rain here and there, especially where we encounter some of that cold air first, mainly north and west of the Tri-Cities. That'll create a little bit of a window for some icy conditions, certainly make the roads at the least wet. But as you can see, as we head towards Saturday evening, a lot of this just becomes plain rain showers outside of maybe a little bit more freezing rain on the north end of the bay. Everybody changes over to a steadier rain, and maybe even tomorrow night, a couple of isolated thunderstorms as the core of the system with a lot of its energy really starts to pour in across the region. Then we look ahead from tomorrow night and into Sunday morning. Our area of low pressure by 11 p.m. tomorrow, moving into parts of Illinois, rapidly cuts in toward the Mackinac Straits first thing on Sunday morning. And while we're going to start the day with plenty of rain, the expectation is that we're very quickly going to change over to scattered snow in the afternoon when the low pulls north and east of us. But you also see plotted on here, we have these lines. They're called isobars, lines of equal barometric pressure. And when they're clustered together like we see here, that indicates what we call a tight pressure gradient, meaning there's a lot of strong wind in play. That will not change as we head into tomorrow afternoon and evening. And we talked before about that term, bombogenesis or bomb cyclone. There is a possibility, it's not a guarantee,
guarantee, but this is going to be a very close call. It's rapid deepening of this area of low pressure, which entails a central drop in pressure of 24 millibars in 24 hours or less. So essentially, it's a storm that gets very intense very quickly. Whether or not it becomes an actual bomb cyclone, it is going to be very close and very dangerous because, as you can see, the winds alone, by the time we hit Sunday at noon, these are sustained winds blowing constantly at these speeds between 30 and 40 miles per hour, gusting higher at times, and that will carry all throughout the day on Sunday. So we're looking at widespread power outages likely, along with some tree damage and maybe even minor structural damage too. 23 is your overnight low for tonight. We can at least catch our breath for now. Isolated increasing clouds, that is, coming in late. We head toward tomorrow. Scattered showers break out during the afternoon with some freezing rain, but with temps coming up into the 40s, we'll change over to plain rain as we head into tomorrow night. That changes back to snow as we head into Sunday afternoon with the windy conditions. 44 the high early. And then it's back to colder but at least quieter weather, David and Colette, as we head into next week.